try that out. Hope it's not showing two of them. Hey, Matt. Just setting up. Hello, welcome back to Marvel Puzzle Quest with me, PiMacleod. We're here on day 4236, coming upon a 5-star Miles cover, if anyone really wanted him. Oh, kind of sad, but yeah, whatever. So, yeah, Moonstone's up here at the top. We still celebrate her. She's still amazing and awesome, but we do have our new 5-star coming on the horizon. Like, really soon. You haven't seen? Do you want to see? If you don't know already, it is, drum roll, smallest drum roll ever, Toni Ho. No, I'm not the biggest comic book fan. I mean, not fan, I'm sorry, comic book buff. I do like comic books, but I haven't read a ton of them. Just, you know, hasn't come across my my radar as often as I wanted to. But Toni Ho, new rescue 5-star, is coming on in, and well, here's some of the stats, some of the information we get to look forward to her. Hey, Jonathan, how's it going? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us on YouTube. I appreciate it. Okay, so Toni Ho comes in with the affiliations of Enhanced, Heroes, Team Cap, and then most importantly, Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts is pretty important because there is a lack of Thunderbolts in our stuff, and there's been a couple of characters recently that reference other Thunderbolts being on the team. So hey, there's another person to help out your Thunderbolt-based strategies if you wanted to, right? The rest of it, it doesn't really matter as much. Just another hero. Enhanced doesn't going to come into play that often. Team Cap is kind of an old term now. I mean, it's not. How many people are running like 5-star Captain America nowadays? Just as many people as running 5-star Miles, right? But you know, you look at the health, the match damage. Okay, yeah, she gets kind of beefy. It's yeah, we've seen that stuff before. We'll get to the feeders when we learn about the feeders. Let's get to the stuff, the abilities, the why we're gonna play her, right? Her first ability they have on the list here is Blue, the modular engineering. Costs only 6 AP. Hey, random, how's it going? Look like Joe. Which Joe? There's a lot of Joes. Not sure which Joe we're talking about here, but good to see you, random. Let's see. Toni customizes her tech in real time, adapt to the fight, whatever. Choose a module below, then create a 3-turn module repeater that repeats the chosen effect. So basically, you know, you get a repeater, okay? And it repeats the chosen effect. So you get to choose the effect going on here. Team Cap, yeah, Team Cap, right, Nataziel? It's kind of crazy. So either does damage to the target, or stuns a random target, or burst heal her team for some health. I mean, no one's really looking for burst heals all that often, but I guess like in a pinch, maybe. But I think in a pinch, everyone wants the stun. Shoot, if it's not a pinch, you want the stun. I mean, holding the enemies down is just going to prevent you more damage than this is going to heal you for. Just saying what it is, right? Anyways. And then there's the passive. If there are 3 or more friendly repeater tiles on the board, this power costs 1 less. Now we're starting to think a little bit here. Characters that make lots of repeaters, right? Like, I don't know, 5-star Magic, or Hobgoblin likes repeaters. 4-star Human Torch, not the Annihilus one, but you know, the other one, the OG. There's plenty of characters out there that play with repeaters, and this could really come into play with that. Okay, so, and obviously as you level it up more, it's going to deal more damage, burst heal more, but more importantly, let's get to level 5. It can stun for 2 turns. Having a repeater, a set of repeaters that can stun for 2 turns as they go off, that could be kind of cool. And it's only 6 blue, not bad. Of course, it's not going to go off right away, so you fire it, you get the repeater, then you got to wait a couple turns to get that stun. So a little dicey there while you wait for it to take effect. But anyways, the damage is okay. The stun is really good. The burst heal no one's going to really use or care about. I mean, come on. No one really ever does. This isn't a game about healing and doing a long defensive strategy, unfortunately. This is more about the quick win. That's just how this game works nowadays. Hey, Matt, what's up? Purple Man. Purple Man and the repeaters? Heck yeah. You're right on that. Purple Man big time. Hey, Luxie, how's it going? But yeah, Purple Man will love this as well. Assuming you get the AP to start with and fire off those repeaters really quick. A couple of different ways to do that with different characters nowadays, so could work. Next up, the ability called Iron Patriot Systems. It's the red one, costs 7, so a little pricier, just a hair more pricey. Toni unleashes full offensive power. Deal damage to the enemy team. As a passive, whenever a friendly repeater hits 0, you deal a little bit of damage to the target. So the firing it off deals damage to the enemy team. The passive has a repeater hitting 0, you deal damage to the target. That could be really cool with what we just said again, Purple Man, or Human Torch, or any of the other repeater-based peoples we've talked about before. We could bring Gore into the conversation, Magic, and you get the point. Especially if the repeaters are a 1. If it's a 1-turn repeater, and it's constantly ticking, that could be really, 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 really good. Obviously, as the levels go up, the damage goes up. There's not really much room for growth here. You kind of get what it's going to do. More damage to the enemy team, more damage to the target for each repeater hitting 0. That could get really nasty. That could get really, really nasty. There's other characters in the 5-star and 4-star realm that play with repeaters, again, and this could be really, really cool. But I don't want to hold our breath too long. Depending on where you're at in the game, like high echelon 5-star players, like end game players, are winning games in 1, if not 2 turns at the tops. So I don't know how much this character is going to mean to them, but for us coming up in 4-star into 5-star ranks, or maybe mid-rank 5-star, it could be really fun. And finally, this tech support, this yellow, costs 6. Which is still pretty cheap actually nowadays, given all the supports and stuff we have to start with AP. You get a 4-turn fortified, thank God, tech support repeater that reduces all other friendly repeaters to 0. All other friendly repeaters? And we know what happens when they hit 0 now, right? That's pretty ridiculous. Not to mention whatever the repeater itself is giving you. That could be some ridiculously cool stuff going on there. Now, of course, if one is already out there and exists, instead you just reduce its timer to 0. But still, that means every other repeater is going down to 0. Ridiculous. And as a passive, at the start of the battle, you get a 4-turn fortified tech support repeater just out there to start the fight. She just starts with 1, period. Here's an interesting little tidbit. And this is one of the things I kind of noticed and gravitated to first when I was looking at her abilities, just to preview it. While a friendly tech support tile exists, all technologists on your team deal 10% increased damage and take 4% reduced damage. It confused me a little bit because, your technologist buddy get these extra boosts and she's not a technologist. Which is kind of weird because if you look at her biography and her write-up, and then if you look at her history, I did a little bit of Wikipedia surfing, Facebook detective sort of stuff, and you go on back and you see that she came out in 2015, and she's not that old of a character, just 10 years in the comics, right? She's another Tony Stark sort of person, makes cool armor and cool gadgets and gizmos and does the hero thing. Why is she not a technologist? She helps technologists, but she doesn't get that boost. She's not a technologist. It's kind of silly, but it's weird. I'll give it that much. It's weird. That aside, level 2, 3, 4, 5. At the best, it gets to be a 2-turn tile. So every 2 turns, you're reducing all your repeaters down to 0. And then on battle start, get the 2-turn tile. But now you're dealing 20% increased damage for all the technologists. Well, as long as 1 tech support tile's out there. And take 10% reduced damage. So your friendly technologists are going to like teaming up with her. It'll help them be just a little beefier, take a couple more hits. I don't know if that's worth like really teaming up with just exclusively technologists for, though. If you think about it, 20% more damage sounds nice, but look at your average ability damage, right? And then cut it down to just 1/5 of it. And that's the amount of extra she's throwing on. Now, is that worth making it so you're only with technologists? Or are we going to try to lean towards more repeater type people? There's not a ton of repeater type people that are also technologists. There's some crossover, but you're kind of limiting your scope of what you're using, right? If we find one, though, of course, we're all going to talk about it. So, yeah, stay tuned, right? And that's pretty much it. That's what Toni Ho is going to be about. Is about repeater builds and technologist-based support. Of course, it's got like all kinds of information about when she's can be used and offers and whatnot. But I did notice that in her 5-star store right now, they have it listed that Riri Williams and Doctor Strange will be in the store with her. I'm not sure why Doctor Strange, but anyways, Riri Williams is kind of cool. You get that first turn stun for that 4 green, really nice and cheap. She isn't bad at all. That could be a fun little combo between them. I don't think Riri has much to do with repeaters, but the technologist thing helps out. Anyways, that's Toni Ho in a nutshell. Your view might differ than mine, but I see her being someone that's going to be for a game that takes a couple more turns. It's not like she's going to be bad. It's more like she's someone that if you had to make repeater-based builds for it's a quest, or maybe you just like that sort of gameplay style, this is a good character for you. But I don't think she's going to win matches in 1, 2, maybe even 3 turns. She looks like she's more of a long-term building sort of character. But just my view. Anyways, let's get to the crash now. We do have a Crash of the Titans to get into, and it is for none other than going slow throughout the menus. We're going against the same person twice, and if you don't know that emblem by now down there for the Crash, it's Mr. Negative. But, well, let's just talk about Mr. Negative for a real quick moment here. You have to know what you're up against when you're going to fight him. He can be kind of tricky if you don't know what's going on. His power set's nice and fair this time. It's 3-5-5. He's not cheating like some of these crashes are with the 5-5-5. Let's start at the top. His yellow is an ability that basically states he's going to make 3 of the type of tile that there's least of on the board. So if there's some strikes and attacks and protects, if there's the least amount is attacks, he's going to make some attack tiles. If the least amount is protects, he's going to make some protect tiles. He's going to make what's the least amount on the board. But then, after the tiles are created, if there are 6 or more out there, then he blows them all up. Just destroys all of them. Doesn't care, friendly or enemy. Blows them all up and does damage to the enemy based on a percentage of that tile's value. So if it's like a strike tile for 200, he'll do that 200 plus whatever that percentage is in his ability. I want to say at level 5 it's like 225% or something like that, and that's for every single one of those special tiles on the board. It can get quite beefy. So he just destroys all of them. They're gone. And a lot of damage to be done. Of course, this is one of the reasons why he pairs so well with Polaris, because you spend a little bit of yellow. I think it costs like 7 yellow, I think. Maybe 8, 7 or 8, anyways, and destroys them all. And Polaris, of course, repeats and puts them all back out there plus some, right? Amazing combo, but we're not here to talk about her. The blue is a little different. You know, I'm going to wait to get into the fight to discuss the blue because it's a little more convoluted. The black is easier to talk about though. The black is really at level 5 is a it's kind of like a reflect. So you put out a countdown tile, and for that amount of turns, anytime you hit Mr. Negative, he takes only like half the damage and reflects the half that he's not taking back at you. And it kind of sucks, honestly, because you get to be buffed up with like really good damage boosters, strike tiles, what have you, and you just take all half of that right back in your face. It can be pretty devastating if you're not prepared for it. So he ruins your strike, attack, protect tile game, and he likes to reflect damage back at you. It's pretty devastating, all things being told. The key is just don't play strike, attack, and protect tiles against him, or don't let him have yellow. I'd rather just not play those type of characters against him, because that's what he wants you to do. He wants you to play those. So that's the key to taking down Mr. Negative. Don't play those sort of games against him. He will dismantle it. But we don't have to worry about that, because this week we are using Spider-Man India. Let me take out this boost. We don't need that in this fight. Spider-Man India. Oh yeah, let's take off the support as well. Get out of here. There we go. He came into MPQ, geez, what, a couple years ago now? Let's say probably close to 2-ish years now. I'm just going off of rough math in my head. He hasn't been around that long, but he's been a real good addition to the web making teams. I don't know if he makes more than Spidey 2099, but he's pretty comparable, and he does it in a whole different way. Instead of making them based on yellow, black, and blue matches like 2099 does, this guy makes it with trap tiles. Let's start off with, is it Mandela Web? There it is. So this passive states, at the start of battle, he makes 3 web spin trap tiles. So 3 traps are out there right at the beginning. At the start of each turn, fill with webs awfully quick, and that's a good thing. You want those webs out there. They're going to come in very many uses. You'll see why when we get to the other abilities. Chai Break is, I don't want to say it's his most important ability, but it does allow him to be very, very, very safe. You might look at it and say, like, why do you have it at 3 if it's such an important power? You'll see why when we get to the green. Chai Break is another passive. It's no cost. All it is that if he's going to take ability damage, not match damage, ability damage, and there are 9 or more, well, let's put it up to 5 so you can see the full effect, right? 8 or more total web tiles, he'll take 35% less damage for each friendly web spin trap tile. Yes, he could basically take it down to 1 damage, no matter what it is. And the enemy is stunned for 3 turns. At the start of the turn, he regains health for each stunned enemy. So that's just a separate little thing there. As long as the enemy's stunned, he's just regaining health. I have it down to 3. He needs 9 or more web tiles, and he'll take 20% less damage for each friendly web spin trap. Enemy stunned for 1 turn. Most cases, I can see why most people would want to put it up to 4 or 5 to get that extra turns of stun out of it, less damage taken, a little more health for each stunned enemy out there. But here's why. I love this green. Plus, I want all the traps out there that I can to help me make more webs, so the purple's at 5. This green, Bracelet Roundabout, is one of the most damaging green powers I know in the game. Hey John, how's it going, bud? He is the big web nuke. That's it right here. For 8 green, you deal damage to the enemy team for each web tile on the board, plus a percentage amount more, in this case at level 5, 25%, for each time he has reduced damage from Chai Break, up to a max of 8 times. Boo-hoo! 8 times? I mean, that's a lot of extra damage. For that much damage to the enemy team per web, did we just talk about how many webs he makes? If you match a web, one of the trap tiles, that's 3 webs out there. That's right there. That's 7,600 according to what's on my screen right there. If a Chai Break goes off, then that's 25% higher on top of that. And this isn't counting any other webs you got going on. You might have Totem Dagger on him, creating a web for your first 2 turns. Or 2099 might be a partner, making webs with yellow, blue, and black matches. This gets ridiculously powerful, especially for the 4-star level that he's at. It's easily one of the most team damaging abilities in the 4-star realm. It does way too much damage for a 4-star character. It's to the point where if you see him, that's the #1 fear. It's not the fact that you might get stunned, or you can't do ability damage because you fear those repercussions. It's that green. Don't let him get 8 green. Don't let him get it, because that is game over. Now, of course, we get to use him, so we're going to try to abuse that as much as we can. For your own uses, I wouldn't blame you for putting Totem Dagger on, because remember, Totem Dagger states whenever you create a web, you do damage to a random enemy. That's going to be really helpful here, because you're going to create a lot of webs with those trap tiles. That's never a bad thing. Plus, the extra 2 webs at the beginning means you'll get more bracelet roundabout damage if you get that green up there. But let's see it in action, shall we? First off, what's the one thing I always do? I forget to turn on animations before we start. Let's go over here. Character effects on. Story, daily, node, Mr. Negative versus Spider-Man India. Hey, Bill, how's it going, dude? Good to see you, man. Love the shirt. Thanks, man. Thank you very much. The best part, they keep a running total of the damage it will do if cast. This is true. That is a really neat thing about Spider-Man India. Thanks for mentioning that, John. Under his green for the bracelet roundabout, if you're ever curious if you're going to do enough damage to kill them, it'll tell you. It actually has a running number at the bottom of the green ability to tell you how much damage it's going to do. And we'll show you when we get into the fight. Now, I mentioned this earlier, so I'm going to keep my promise. Mr. Negative and his blue. Analyze stats. It was a passive. It just has multiple layers to it, so I kind of didn't want to describe it, but without getting into to see it with my own eyes again. There's a couple things going on in here. So, Mr. Negative flips back and forth between 2 forms. In his very human-looking form, he is Martin Lee. When he has the, well, negative look to him, he is Mr. Negative. Those forms mean different things throughout his abilities, but this is kind of where it comes together the most. So while he looks like Martin Lee, okay, he takes 30% reduced damage from matches and abilities, just built-in defense. Pretty good stuff, honestly. And at the start of his turn, he gains 1 AP in one of his strongest colors, which basically means yellow, blue, or black. Now, of course, if you have a support on that raises it above one of those 3, it'll change that. But hey, that's up to you to play around with. While he's Mr. Negative, he deals 50% bonus match damage. And at the start of the turn, improves all friendly strike attack tiles by 50% of his current level. So let's say you have a level 300 Mr. Negative. That means 150 would be placed on top of his strike and attack tiles. Not bad, not too shabby. If he has taken more than 25% of damage, 20% damage, sorry, since changing into Mr. Negative, he then changes to Martin Lee, and then creates 2 strength 180 for the purposes of this fight, fortified projectiles. And this cannot be disabled by status effects, so like no stun, no airborne, no nothing. Okay, that's always going to take place. Which, a little bit extra defense is always good when you get hit really hard, right? But honestly, that's used more because of his yellow. He's going to get 2 more special tiles up there, so when he fires off that yellow, that's more damage he's piling onto you. Just saying what it is. So yeah, he's pretty handy to have around. He can be decently rough if you let him get away with what he wants to get away with. In this case, we're not going to fear him because as long as we're not making strike, attack, protect tiles, which we're not, he has to cast that yellow like 2 times just to get enough tiles on the board to have it do his fun effects. Of course, if he gets his black off, well, that's going to hurt a little more. Okay, let's see. I kind of want to destroy a web just to get the webs rolling. Remember that we need webs on the board for his blue passive to work. Now, unfortunately, I don't see any around. I'm going to make this green match to pull down that blue trap. Not to mention we like green, right? I'm going to take the yellow because he likes the yellow. He also likes blue, but he has no active use for blue. If he makes it, he doesn't spend it. Everything for blue for him is passive. So I'm going to take that yellow. There we go. He matched some and he destroyed some. So that's a lot of extra webs on the board now. Next time he does any power damage to me, there's going to be some repercussions. I need to get some green now. And I'm not seeing how to get some green. I guess I need to destroy some webs to make some stuff happen. Or maybe this team up. Hope green falls down. And it didn't. I could destroy this one. Hope green falls down, and it didn't. Okay, reverse tenant. This is the one where he reflects damage at you. So I'm going to eventually smack him for some damage. And I'm going to take half of it back. Like right here. So you saw the little numbers pop up next to me. That's the damage I'm taking back. It's not too much because I'm just doing match damage right now. But I would not want to do my green nuke if I didn't think I could kill him right away with it. I'm going to make this black match just to pull those greens down. I'm thinking if I match like this. There we go. Now we got some greens. I was kind of hoping he would do some sort of damage to us in a power so we can see our blue passive go off. But maybe we should just nuke him now and be over with it. I mean, we got the reverse tenant on the board, which kind of sucks. I almost just want to do it just to like show what it looks like, right? So right now we're doing 59,000 damage. That number is pretty fun to look at. Like, that's a 4-star character dealing stupid amounts of damage. He makes quality wardrobe choices for his streams. Oh, thank you, John. Okay, so I'm gonna run this right now. 59,000 for Bracelet Roundabout, and we're gonna. I don't think he's gonna get to do his reverse tenant to us, but we'll see what happens. I mean, he did get to do his make 2 projectile things, and we saw 1 damage come back on me, but that's because reverse tenant reflected it back, right? But I had traps on the board and over 9 webs, so I also reduced the damage coming back on me big time. So that whole back and forth happened really quick within a blink of an eye. But Bracelet Roundabout I punched through pretty hard. So let's do it again, but this time we'll change the numbers around. I'm going to take the chai break and raise it up. And I'm going to reduce down the Bracelet Roundabout for it. I want to keep the Mandala webs up though. I personally like having the Bracelet Roundabout really up high. I really do. But we want to see the chai break come off, right? Okay, we'll see it take place a little more and see how this runs. Heal him up, and let's go. Yeah, Kapow is right, John. That's kind of ridiculous strength. Contemplating letting him have that match 4 blue, just so I get 6 webs out there. I think that might be the better way to go. There's also a match 4 of red. I want to make more web matches though, so I think we're gonna let him do that. I'm going to do this. Come on, take your... Oh, move that blue to the side. Well, now it's all ruined. Don't. Okay, well, he's not going to match that red if he... So I'll do it, just to get the webs out of it. He didn't even want that blue one down there. What a snob. I guess we'll take this yellow one. Oh, that yellow one. I misclicked. Misswiped. take this one. I don't think do we have enough webs on the board to do the effect yet? I see 1, 2. Oh, hey. Thanks, Lep. I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. Thanks for the sub, dude. We got, what was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ah, 7 webs. We need one more. I guess I'll have to make it myself. Boo-hoo. We're going to do it right here. There we go. We have enough webs now. Reverse Tenet comes out. Cool. I want to see some sort of power damage kick in so that we can see if the Chai Break do something. I honestly don't even remember if it has an animation, but hey, let's try to learn that, right? Means we might have to give him enough yellow to cast that twice. Dang. I guess we could shoot for that. Ugh. Try to feed him yellow. Come on, match the yellow. It's right up there. Right up the top. Oh, he's stunned. So wait a minute. The reverse Tenet did damage already. I had to think about that. Hold up. So, okay. I got it now. 50% of the damage dealt by Spider-Man India is instead dealt to a random enemy. So the damage is being dealt back to me that I'm just doing match damage. And he's reflecting half of it back. But because it's a power reflecting it, that's ability damage. And Chai Break, you know, it reflects, it mitigates, that's a good word for it, ability damage. That's funny. I didn't think it was going to be put together like that. But yeah, so my match damage is being turned to ability damage and being reflected back. And that's why he got Chai Broken. That's a new thing, Chai Broken. That's crazy. Hey Dark, welcome to the stream. Chai Break is sneaky. It is. I didn't think that was going to happen like that. But hey, that's interesting to think of. So if something is going to mitigate or send back your damage somehow, which Mr. Negative does, Chai Break just breaks it. Good to know. Hey, how do I pronounce this? Andu? Can we call you Andu? I'll call you Andu unless you say otherwise. Yeah, I see this Dark being a pretty easy crash, but easier not just because that bracelet is so strong. This damage is ridiculous. So if I do this, he's just getting self-stunned because of his reverse Tenet. He literally can't do anything. So I can set up my own ability. As long as this countdown is sitting out there, I just do what I want. I didn't even realize how crazy that is. I just nuked him the first time with the bracelet roundabout, but now I'm having fun with the 3-turn stun. Give me that green so we can end his misery he is enduring. This guy is in his own little personal HE double hockey sticks right now. Oh my lord. Poor Mr. Negative. Things that no one ever said. Gotta run later. Okay, later, John. Thanks for coming around, man. Okay, so here we go. 41,000 damage. And remember, I lowered this down. I lowered it down. It was a level 5 bracelet. Now it's a level 3 bracelet. It's still doing 41k. Wow. Bye, Mr. Negative. He tried. That's ridiculous. Well, we all learned something today. If you didn't know it already, I just learned it. So when reverse Tenet's on the board, that reflects back ability damage. And Spider-Man India says, haha, I got you now. Infinite loop of pain. That's pretty darn fun. Cool. Good to know. Good to know. So that's Spider-Man India. I don't think all of his fights go that easy, but they can. I mean, if you're going to play him on a 3-man team, 2099 is one of his best friends, makes tons of webs for him, and then throw on some sort of support to give him more green. If you want to get that bracelet rolling faster, don't forget Atlantis at rank 3 is when it can give you free green AP to start with a percentage chance, right? You could also go with, scroll on back here to the end of my stuff here. Is it way down here? It is. Yarrow Root at rank 3 has a chance to start with green AP. And then there's one more. I kind of forget about it quite often. Not that one. Where are you at? It's another Spidey one, and I forget about it quite often. And I'm rolling right by it, aren't I? Is it Spider Sense? Yeah, there it is. Rank 3. At start of battle, gain 4 green. Not a percentage chance. You just get 4 green just for... Well, I mean, this is at level rank 4. But I didn't realize that before. You just start with green. That's pretty cool. So keep that in mind. You get some more green AP without having to worry about that percentage chance of it not kicking in. So get that Bryce up roundabout going faster. Anyways, that's all we got. We talked about Toni Ho and the new abilities she's bringing on in for repeater-based teams and technologists. And we also did Spider-Man India's crashes and talked about how broken he is. Thank you very much for joining me, everybody. I'd like to thank you very much to Dark and John and Lep for the subscription. Thanks, Lep. I really appreciate that again. Bill, thanks for joining over there. Over on the YouTube side, Andu, Matt, Luxie, Natasniel, Random, and John. Thank you very much for joining over there. I appreciate all the support. I'll see you guys really, really soon. I think there's going to be a poll session soon. Talk to y'all later.